Nintendo took the whole world by surprise today when they, out of nowhere, announced a Star Fox Direct happening. I think I got the notification like 5 minutes before it was taking place, and I was just like, what could this be? It's gotta be a new game, right? And I was wrong and right at the same time. With the most recent success of the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie, with Star Fox being in there, it's not a spoiler because Nintendo literally announced it via a movie poster. I still have not seen that movie, but it's so cool that they found a way to work in a non-Nintendo character into this movie, although they already had the Pikmin in there. But still, it's really cool that they made a way to get Star Fox into this other universe. Fox McCloud. I know his name's not Star Fox, it's Fox McCloud. I get it. But the Star Fox is in there. They're acknowledging the game franchise. I've been a fan of Star Fox games since the Nintendo 64 version. That's the one I played the most. We played that a lot growing up with my brother and my cousin. We would sit and play the multiplayer. We would take turns, going through the single player missions. It's such a fun game, and it was great. It took what the Super Nintendo Star Fox did, or attempted to do, and it just made it better. Star Fox then took a weird detour by getting reworked into a Legend of Zelda-like adventure game from Rare. I personally liked Star Fox Adventures. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I remember playing through it and I really enjoyed it. Obviously some weird things here or there, but overall it was still a very fun game. They went back to their roots with Assault, which I think was awesome. I played through it one time. That's all I remember. I just remember having fun with it. Star Fox Zero came out on the Wii U, and I know that one's controversial, and I totally understand, but I also do think that Star Fox Zero is a great game. My biggest gripe with it is it took what Star Fox 64 did, which was retell the story of Star Fox, and did it again with Star Fox Zero. Went back to the beginning and telling that story again, fleshing a few things out here or there, taking the basic levels and kind of switching them up a bit. It did something new with it. I was hoping that they would have done more, but they didn't, and that's fine. It was fine. I was hoping that at that point they would continue on. I did not mention Star Fox Command because what is that game? That is a very bizarre title in the Star Fox universe, and I recently just tried to play that one a couple weeks ago, and I jumped into wherever I left off in the game, and it was not one you could just like pick up and play again. You gotta kind of re-strategize and relearn how to play that one. Fast forward to today, May 6th, 2026, and Nintendo out of nowhere announces Star Fox for the Nintendo Switch 2 exclusively, and it is a remake of Star Fox 64. And what they've done is they've taken the character of Star Fox, after he looks as cool as he did on Zero and on actually the game for this, Starlink. He has his own campaign in that game. I haven't touched that one in a while. I should really fire that one back up. And they're just retelling the Nintendo 64 story all over again. They've got updated graphics. They've got all this new dialogue that they've recorded for these cutscenes. My first impression of this game was pure excitement because we are getting a new Star Fox game for the Nintendo Switch. We haven't seen an actual Star Fox game in at least 10 years, and that was Star Fox Zero was the last one. And then as soon as they said that it was going to be a remake of the 64 one, I kind of lost a lot of that that drive, that like excitement for the game, because I wanted something new. I wanted them to push the story forward. Like, you had 64, and then you went to Adventure, which continued from 64, and then we got introduced to Crystal, and then she became part of the Star Fox team, and then she was in Assault as a character that helps you fight. She was also in Command, and like I said, that game is bizarre. And now we're going back again to starting this story over. It's almost like the guy who's behind all this just hasn't found the right medium to tell his story for these characters. And I just have a problem with that. Now, this game itself, when they show the actual gameplay and like the graphics and everything like that, it looks awesome. This game looks so beautiful on this system. Everything's got color, everything looks vibrant, everything looks high def and just great. You know, like they took Donkey Kong from all, like his look that he had from the rare Super Nintendo games, kind of how he was throughout all of his games. They just reinterpreted that. When the Super Mario Brothers movie came out, they kind of tweaked him a little bit, and then a couple years after that movie came out, boom, Nintendo drops Donkey Kong Bonanza on us and gives us a new look for Donkey Kong, and it looked great. I think he looks awesome. I love the way he looks in Bonanza. Fox McCloud, on the other hand, is in the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and he looks great in that movie. He looks like his other characters. He looks like this, without the metal headset, at least on this part. He looks great in that movie from what I've seen. And then they showed footage of the characters from this new game, and they are very lifelike. They are really going for that like realistic look that they were trying to replicate with like the advertising for Star Fox for the Super Nintendo. One of my kids was recording my reaction to this, and as soon as they showed the people, I'm pretty sure I said, "Oh, I don't like that." I've been browsing social media and looking at things, and I definitely have to say that I've grown to accept it a little more, but I'm a very firm believer that the design that they had for these characters from Star Fox Zero was perfect. They still look like the old ones, but they still had some realism to them as well. I think it was the perfect in-between for that. I'm not a huge graphics ruin the game kind of person. I will find ways to enjoy it in other ways. Case in point, when Wind Waker was coming out, I was of the age of remembering that people hated how that game looked. And while I was hoping that they would have gone for a more realistic look like what the 64 games offered, with the first, GameCube offering for Legend of Zelda, I appreciated it. I still appreciate it. I think it looks great. I still think it works well for the game that they made. And I am definitely willing to give this game a chance. I mean, I'm for sure buying this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm buying this game. I just think that they looked a little too lifelike. I was hoping they would have kept the look of Zero. But they're not, and there's nothing we can do about it at this point, considering the game's already coming out next month. We can't pull a Sonic on it. It's too far gone at this point. They're gonna look how they look, and I'm sure once you're in the game and once you're involved in it, it's gonna be fine. And I think that's like the least of our worries is how the game looks. Story for this thing, they're adding new cutscenes that they have made exclusively for this to really flesh out that story. The voiceovers all sound great. I love the sound of the characters. If you haven't already seen the reveal, don't worry about it. Slippy actually sounds great. I actually really liked how Slippy's voice sounded. Everyone else sounds on point too. This is the third reimagining of this story, like I've already gone to ad nauseum. And I just really hope that once they're done with this game, that we never have to deal with the origin of Star Fox again. Move on. This could potentially be a huge franchise if they would stop focusing on the beginning. Give us Give us a prequel. Give us a story with James McCloud and the team before Pigma turns on them. Go through some of their missions. Give us missions afterwards. You have an entire, like, galaxy to deal with. Like, we're dealing just in the Lilat system that they're, you know, this takes place in. There's other systems they can probably get to. And I'm just so over entering Corneria City and fighting everybody to get to Venom to fight Andross as a big floating head with hands. Like, I mean, come on, give us something new. Like, there's been 9 games total, and half of those are essentially the same story being told again. And I've played all of them except for Star Fox 2. I've never actually fired that game up on the Switch. I should at some point. This could have been your chance to just tell something new, and I'm going to keep harping on that because that's my main complaint, is you're just retelling the same story. That's like going to the movie and watching, it's like Groundhog's Day, but with a fox. So the gameplay for this is going to be exactly like it was 3 games prior. It's going to be an on-rail shooter, which I'm all for. I like the on-rail shooter. It works for the type of game that this is. What my problem is as these games have gone on, for the few that have actually continued the story, they tried to do something different. Star Fox Command on the DS gave you like an RTS type gameplay that also incorporated like the all range mode fights, and you had to strategize how you're moving your characters, how you're taking care of enemies, all that kind of stuff. Like it made sense. There's a lot of kinks with that one, which is why people don't really talk about it all that much, but it still tried something new. Star Fox Adventures was a Legend of Zelda style game. Fox McCloud goes on foot on these planets. Or planet. I think it was just one planet. He goes on foot and explores things and looks for stuff. Sure, there's like the on-rail parts, which I thought was really silly. Like, to get to this part of the planet, you have to fly through 10 rings. Well, what does that do? That doesn't make any sense. You're just finding a way to work this type of gameplay into the game. And the little bits of it were fine. And then you have Assault, which had on-foot missions where you still have to go around and shoot things, so it was like the best of both worlds there. And I thought those missions were fun. There's actually also a mission where you're like standing on like Star Wolf's wing shooting at things. Cool. Do more stuff like that. Star Fox Zero, you had the gyro wing, which gave you, like, you had to be a little more sneaky on these missions and to unlock stuff. Yeah, some of it was a little slow and some of it was kind of clunky, but at least it was different. It tried something new. Heck, even using the gamepad to do the steering and the shooting, it was a little clunky at first. When you're first getting used to it, I get it feels weird, but once you are actually into the game and playing it, it plays beautifully. Like I said, I ran through the whole single player campaign on it just a couple weeks ago, just to, like, you know what, I've been really feeling some Star Fox lately, let's fire up the Wii U, let's give this game another go. And I still had fun with it. That game is really hard though as far as getting the medals and stuff, but it is a fun challenge to have. And the game still looks great, it still plays great, and I wish people would have just given it a chance instead of just more or less making Nintendo tuck their tail and just, let's try it again, one more go at it. I mean, this game is trying some new things. They're adding mouse aiming, which I'm not a big fan of using the Joy-Con as a mouse. I tried it with Metroid Prime 4, and it did not work for me. I much rather prefer the gyro controls. I wish that this game would have that. They didn't show that it did. It might, but I think that would be fun to, like, still use that as an aiming device, but we'll see what happens. They're also doing like a co-op mode where one person flies the ship with one Joy-Con and the other person takes the other Joy-Con, and then they're the one shooting. That could be kind of fun. That's a little different. It's nothing groundbreaking by any means, but it's something different to add to this game. They are doing 4-on-4 online fights, which is pretty cool, and I'm pretty sure that they said that the game can be shared via local, like, game share or using game chat. that's also kind of neat. So you can, if one person buys the game, you can share it with the other people and just join in on a dogfight. That's fun. And a way to like get people to play this game. I'm all for them trying new things. I really am. And I gave every single game a chance. I love Nintendo. It's everywhere. It's my it's like part of my logo. Most of my stuff that I have is Nintendo based. I like their stuff. I like how innovative they can be. They want to be. And this is a franchise where I think they could really just do something with it if they would try. But I feel like they're just really playing this safe after Star Fox Zero just didn't perform as well as they wanted it to. And part of that is just the failure of the Wii U. As much as I still love it, I know people have their gripes with the system. And I know it wasn't marketed super great either. So, like I said, this game comes out next month. It is going to be $50 digitally and $60 physically. I'm going to be buying the physical one because I like having at least Nintendo's games as a physical cartridge. And you know what? I'm really hopeful that this game will be great. I hope that they expanded enough where it feels new, even though we're going to be revisiting all the same locales that we've been to in 3 other games. And I'm just really hoping that this game sells well enough and people give it enough attention, positive attention, that Nintendo will continue the story. And I honestly don't even care if they retcon everything that happens after this and gives us just more Star Fox content. So, how do you feel about it? How do you feel about the surprise announcement and the game? I'm really curious what you think of it. Just let me know in the comments. Okay,